Hey everyone, it's Mark David Heiser from Day Did You Win? And today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm not doing a product review or anything like that. Today I'm going to do my top 5 Midwest marathons that I have actually ran in. So let's get started. Before we get started, if you could, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and get your notifications of when my next video comes out. Also, if you like this video, please let me know by leaving a comment or just simply hitting the like button. That helps me out a lot, and knowing what kind of videos you like to see me do, and what kind of, just give me any kind of feedback that you may have. So, top 5 Midwest marathons I have ran in. So, for those of you who don't know, I do quite a few marathons. I've done 34 total in the past. Not 34 different ones, but 34 marathons total. And most of my marathons are actually in the Midwest. There are only a couple that I can think of right now, two that come to my mind. That would be Boston and Eugene Marathon. Those are the only two that I can remember that I've actually had to travel by plane or anything like that to get to. And there's simple reasons behind that. It's budget. Both me and my wife, we both work. We both enjoy the jobs that we do. But they're not a huge income-based professions. And so it kind of limits what we can do as far as travel. Also, family is involved. And so we try to stick with the Midwest. Nothing against other races. I'd love to explore more of the country and run other marathons. But right now, that's just where we're at. So for this video, like I said, we're going to stick with the Midwest and races I've actually ran. Coming at number 5 on my list is the Bayshore Marathon, which is held in Traverse City, Michigan, every Memorial Day weekend. So last time and the only time I've actually ran this race was back in 2017. So it's been almost 14 years ago, but still ranks highly on my list. It's a beautiful course. It runs along the East Grand Traverse Bay. It's an out and back course, so you go up the shore one way and come back along the same shore, which gives you a great opportunity to see the other runners as they're coming or going, coming back or going out, still depending on where you are in the pack, as well as the half marathon. Actually, what they do is they bus the half marathoners out to the halfway point. Basically, they take a little bit of a different start, but it gives you an opportunity to see the half marathoners on your way out. Makes it seem like you're not as much alone. This is not a very crowded race, meaning that there aren't very many spectators out there. This is a big race though, but not very many spectators. But they do offer a little bit of spectator-friendly routes for you to drive that are not on the course for you to get to certain points along the race. Unfortunately, they don't really encourage you to go all the way out to the turnaround or anything like that, but it does give some opportunity for your loved ones or anybody and your friends to go out and watch you run at least some of the race. One of the cons to this race, and you're going to hear this a couple times on this list actually, is the cost. It is $100, I believe, to register for the full marathon. And the 2021 Bayshore Marathon has already gone virtual this year. So if you pay attention to any news or anything, Michigan has been one of the strictest states in the country as far as lockdowns and restrictions on what you can do. And so Michigan has already said, no, this race will not happen. And so it is virtual for 2021. It is still $63 to do virtual, and that's going to get you a bib, a shirt, and a medal. That seems high for a virtual marathon, but that's what they're doing. So if you're looking for a virtual option right now, that could be one for you. This is the medal that I got, though, back in 2007. Not a bad medal. It's not a big medal, but also at the same time, medals I don't believe were that big back then. So that is the Bayshore Marathon held in Traverse City Memorial Day weekend. Number 4 on my list, and some people might be a little bit surprised that's not higher than number 4, is the Chicago Marathon. I ran this marathon back in 2017. It was the 40th anniversary of the marathon. Really, I liked the race. It was, obviously, Chicago Marathon, it's one of the world majors. It's going to bring out the crowds, cheer all the way around. And so it really is a fun race. It's one you should do once at least in your life if you're a marathon runner and you really enjoy going to bigger cities for marathons. It's held in early October every year. This year, obviously, there's still concerns about COVID and if the race will even happen. I mentioned with Michigan, they've already canceled Bayshore. This one's obviously a few months later, but Illinois has also been one of those stricter states as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Obviously, they shut down the whole city as far as the roads that the course is on, so you get to go right by the huge skyscrapers and everything, and it's like a canyon when you're running in there and you're hearing all the people cheer. It is so loud. For support people like your family and friends, there are opportunities to use public transportation, obviously a train, so you can get around the city and see your friends at point to point. Also, there are other parts of the course that kind of come close to other sections of the course, so it's easy to walk and see your friends in different locations. And that makes it really helpful as well with this race as well. It also has a great expo, a large expo. And so it's one of the largest ones I've ever been to. So that makes it great as well. Also, obviously, they do a great job with their medals, as you can see here, as well as their race swag, their shirts that they give you. They don't give you much more than that, really. But it still is a great experience to do once. The cons behind the Chicago Marathon, once again, it goes to the cost. It is $230 to register for the 2021 Chicago Marathon. And right now, as they said, they have on their website, it's not a for sure thing. They're continuing to monitor what happens with COVID. But like I said, it's one that if you can do it, do it. It's harder to get into it now. So maybe you want to do as a charity runner. That's what my wife did. But $230 right now is how much it costs to get into the Chicago Marathon. Number 3 on my list is the Glass City Marathon, which is run in Toledo, Ohio, and it is typically in late April. What I like about this race is one, it both starts and finishes on the campus of Toledo, Ohio. I believe it starts on the west side of campus before doing a loop around the outer perimeter of campus, and then it goes into Toledo, into the residential neighborhoods and such like that. But then it does finish on the 50-yard line of their football stadium. And it is a nice flat course. It's spectator friendly. You can easily drive around this course if you want. And they do always have great swag. When I was there, it was just t-shirt, but the medals were great as well. So this is the Marathon Finishers medal from that year. And they kind of had a cool little thing where the runner actually moves on the medal. So it just kind of slides up and down. Kind of a cool little feature they put on it that year. So this is from the 2018. This is actually my last Boston qualifier that I've ever ran. So nice medal. But also, and you're going to notice this is the same on the top 3 of my favorite Midwest marathons, is that when you finish, they give you a little something extra. They give you a mug, and this is the mug they give you. You can kind of see it. It has the logo there. Run faster in Toledo is the saying at the bottom. It has a date also. But then also you can use this mug. Your bib did come with 2 tabs for beer. So basically you just take your mug that they give you on your way out of the stadium, and you can get 2 beers in your mug for free. So that's a nice little touch. You get to take the mug home, of course. It sits up here on my shelf now, but nice to get a little something extra after you finish. Some other details about this race, like I said, start and finish at on the campus. Great swag. They do also send you a result book. So this will take a few months after the race, but they will send all the results in. They'll get them published. They'll get them placed into a book, and they will send that to you, which is a nice touch as well. And it's also just, like I said, a fast course. The downside behind this race, 2021, it has just filled up. That is recent development. And the cost right now, the last I saw, I'm not sure what the starting price was, but I do know if you were still be able to register, it's $115. So it is more on what I would say the expensive side. But still, my kids even ask because they have great 5Ks. They always had a great kids mile the day before. But it's always been and actually they moved the 5K to Saturday, the half marathon on Sunday. My kids always want to go and run. they had a great time at those races. And so they are always asking, when are we going to go back? I'm not sure when we will, but I'm sure we will at some point. Obviously now we got other things that are going to get in the way, like my kids' sports and such. But it's one I always keep on the radar as an option to run every year. Coming in at number 2 on my list of the top 5 Midwest marathons I have ran is the Air Force Marathon. Air Force Marathon takes place in Dayton, Ohio. It is usually mid to late September. The year I ran it was September 21st, 2019. And so this race is great for a few reasons. One, it starts and finishes on Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And you get an opportunity to go places on the Air Force Base that you normally wouldn't. Now, you're not going to go on the runways or anything like that, but you're going to go around the perimeter and you're going to see everything that there is on the Air Force Base. It is just a great opportunity for you to get to see that. Parking is a little bit of an issue. I would strongly suggest that you park at Wright State by their gymnasium and take the shuttle bus over. We did that. It worked out really well, and it is probably the best way of doing it. But parking by the Air Force Base is very limited. But other than that, the course, it is mostly flat. There are a few hills on it. You go into a couple of residential neighborhoods, but you don't see very much as far as that goes. It is primarily right around the Air Force Base. But also they have planes taking off all over the place. They do flyovers specifically with the plane that shows up on the medal. And this is the medal that I got from 2019. This is a KC 46 Pegasus. It is a refueler plane. And this did a great flyover prior to the start of the marathon when I was running that year. They were supposed to have paratroopers jumping from planes that day. It did not happen. They gave an explanation. I don't really remember what it was. Not a huge deal. It would have been cool to see while you're out running, see those guys coming down. But like I said, this race just does such a great job of putting on a well-run event. And, there's a lot of focus to detail behind this race. And I know the race director's first name is Brandon. He does YouTube lives leading up to the race. It almost seems like at least once a month. And he does a great job of filling in everybody of what's going on at the race, what to expect, changes, anything needs to be done. They do a great job of filling in their audience on what's going on. So if you've never done Air Force Marathon, you got to do it. The finish is great. You're running right down a strip. It's not an airstrip or anything like that, but they got huge military aircraft on both sides of you as you're running down. And it's just a great environment and exciting way to finish a race. Oh, and also, I almost forgot. They, once again, just like Toledo, they give you extra swag when you finish. So they give you a shirt, of course, when you pick up your packet, you pick up your bib. When you cross that finish line, the year I ran in 2019, they gave us these Boco hats, which if you know me, one, I am a Boco ambassador. Two, I love Boco gear. I love what they do. Their designs are unbelievable. They're different for every hat that they do. So this was a design for the Air Force Marathon. Also very cool, kind of put the Air Force logo, the star, on the inside of the bill. It's a nice little touch. There are planes there on the side, and just a race giving you something tangible like this that you can use after the race and use it from time to time. It's awesome. I wear this hat in the summer so much when I'm out running. So it's probably the item that I've gotten from a race that I have worn the most. And coming in at number 1 on my all-time favorite Midwest marathons I have ran, and this is going to be absolutely no surprise to anybody who knows me, who knows the marathons I run, and I run this race every year. It is the Monumental Marathon. This medal is from the first year I ran it. This one is from 2013. Pretty cool medal. It is a spinner, but that's just from the first time I ever ran the Monumental Marathon. Now, what makes a Monumental Marathon great? It's a few things here. One, the start and finish. It is right by the Indiana State House. So right downtown Indianapolis. It is a great location because also, while that's a great start and finish location, there are hotels all around that area. If you book ahead far enough in advance, which really you should be able to, at least up to a couple months in advance, still be able to get a hotel. You'll be able to get a hotel to where you will be able to walk easily from your hotel to bag check to the starting line. It is so nice to be able just to walk out and not have to worry about driving or anything like that. You don't have to deal with the traffic coming into town. It is just fantastic that they have that kind of resource to where they can just allow you to stay right in downtown and not have to move your car for the whole time you're there. That's the great thing about the city of Indianapolis. You can easily just park, stay, not move your car. Everything is right there. Also, you do get to run around, see, it is called the Monumental Marathon. You see all of the monuments that are in Indianapolis, and there are quite a few of them. In fact, they actually change, and I'm going to show you this. These are the medals from 2014 to 2017. They did a medal series. This is actually in the shape of the Indianapolis state flag, but they change their medals every year to depict a different monument. So these are some of the monuments that you run by. They've also done a couple more medals. They're on this is like I said, that was a medal series that went from 2014 to 2017. I bought the frame to put those in. They have started a new series. These are the new medals. They're going to spell out Indy. It's going to be in the same design as the flag one that I just showed you. But these are the medals that they give out now. And so with that, it's just great. It's a great incentive for you to come back year after year. Obviously, I know some people don't really like it because then they feel obligated. Though, man, I need to come back and finish up my series. It's going to be really weird if I get a medal with a D on it. What does that mean? But at the same time, it's fun for all of us who do come back year after year. It's not the reason why I do. I think this is a great course. It is flat. It is fast. You see great parts of Indianapolis, such as running by Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play. You also run through great neighborhoods. You get great support through there. You run right by the state fairgrounds. You also run through the campus of Butler University. The one thing I wish about that is that they actually went by Hinkle Fieldhouse where Butler basketball plays. That is a great basketball facility. I wish they would go by there because it's kind of a monument to basketball. If you've never been in there, it's where they filmed the final game in Hoosiers. It is where the state finals used to be. It is a great facility to go see as well. And also, like I said, you finish right in downtown, and there are just people all over the place cheering for you as you finish. It is a great atmosphere. Right now, this marathon actually has great starting prices. I believe on New Year's Day they started the registration fees at $60 or $65. So you register ahead of time, you're going to save a lot of money. This race is typically the first Saturday of November. And so it is actually probably the perfect time to run a marathon as well. So that's my number one Monumental Marathon, tops the list. But really, any of the 4 other marathons that I mentioned are really worth your time to look into as well. So that is it. If I didn't mention your favorite, there's a chance I have not ran that marathon yet. I am working on it. I've got a couple that I'm going to be running this year, such as Milwaukee Marathon and also Quad Cities. That will be new for me in the Midwest. So I am getting around. I am seeing more. And I can't wait to actually see more of the Midwest and do more marathons throughout the area. Coming up, I will probably do actually my worst Midwest marathons. I'll do top 5 of my worst here soon. So be watching for that. Until then, please, as I said at the beginning, subscribe and hit the alert button so you know when I post my next video. And if you live in the Midwest or if you've come to the Midwest, tell me some of the great marathons that you have ran in this area and help me try to figure out what races to run next. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.